What's up YouTube, this is the Upstart Goblin here. Today I got a rather short video on the topic of Nekroz. We're going to talk about two new cards that the OCG has confirmed to be being released. We'll start off here. This was announced yesterday by the organization. It is the Nekroz of Sophia. It is a level 11 ritual monster, spellcaster, and light attribute, which is different than all the other Nekroz. I did notice that. It's got 3600 attack, 3400 defense. Effect reads: you can ritual summon this card with any Nekroz ritual spell. Okay, pretty straightforward. Must be ritual summoned from your hand by using 3 monsters with different types you control and cannot be special summoned by other ways. And then its discard effect is during either player's main phase 1, you can discard both this card and 1 Nekroz spell. And during that phase, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck. And its field effect is when it's ritual summoned, you can banish all other cards on the field and in both graveyards. And then during the turn you activate that, you cannot normal or special summon other monsters. So a lot of people are going to look at this, it's looking at its attack and looking at its crazy effect. That's kind of a bit of a watered down Sophia, I think. But really, I just don't see how this is going to work out in the Nekroz deck that's normal. See, in Nekroz decks that we're running now, we're only running 3 types total. We're running spellcasters, warriors, and dragon. The only dragon we're actually running is Nekroz with decisive armor. In a mostly spellcaster and warrior deck, I don't really see how this is going to fit in. You're going to have 3 monsters on the field, one of which is going to be decisive armor, and the other 2 are going to be probably other rituals. I just don't see how this is going to play into a successful build and be able to work. The cost is kind of ridiculous, and frankly, I just don't see it being summoned that often. And then I decided to look at it for its discard effect only, and looking at something that maybe you wouldn't want to necessarily put on the field, kind of like a Clauselaz way, where you're not going to be ritual summoning Nekroz or Clauselaz that often. But its effect, it's okay while it's in the hand, but you're going neg 1 to preemptively stop an opponent from special summoning from the extra deck. I suppose you could chain it to Shadow Fusion, but really what are Shaddolls going to do? Anything they bring out from the extra deck is going to have its effect negated pretty easily by Unicore. Really, you don't really have a problem with extra deck monsters because of Unicore. And I mean, I guess you can stop Burning Abyss from going into Dante, but it's not like Dante is that much of a problem for Nekroz anyway. You have so many ways to just balance it or banish it without actually having to destroy it, so your opponent does not get their effect. And yeah, really, I just don't see how this card is going to be used at all. The other thing they confirmed in this article is that Sephira Saber is confirmed the effect. I'm going to click into that tab for a sec. So we don't have the full image on this, but Sword Saint of the Nekroz Sephira Saber. That is a mouthful. It is a level 4 pendulum, water pendulum. We don't yet know the type because, as you can see, it's covered up in the only picture we have of it. But it's got 1500 attack and 800 defense. Its pendulum effect is that you cannot pendulum summon monsters except Nekroz or Sephira monsters, and that cannot be negated. Well, you're not going to be pendulum summoning in Nekroz anyway. That's probably only for the Sephira based deck, which I have not yet looked into, so I don't know if that's a good thing. I know all the Sephira monsters are going to work in a similar way to that, but yeah, that's pretty much irrelevant for what you're going to be using it for. The monster effect is actually kind of decent. Its effect is that you can tribute it from your hand or face up on the field to tribute monsters from your hand or field, and then ritual summon a Nekroz ritual from your hand whose levels are exactly those levels. So it kind of becomes your 4th ritual spell. You have ways to search it, and you actually can search this out with Bryonic directly, so you don't have to go through the Clauselaz, and this is actually just another way to get your ritual out. The problem is that you have to tribute from your hand and field, so there's no tricks that you can use like Kaleido Mirror, where you can send from the extra deck instead, or Exo Mirror, where you can banish from the graveyard instead, or even Cycle, where you don't even have to have the ritual monster in your hand, you can shoot it straight out of the graveyard. So this is kind of a very limited way of going about doing things, but honestly, it's not terrible. I'd maybe try one. I haven't tested this yet. I'm not sure how well it's going to work in the deck. But this card at least has potential, unlike the Nekroz of Sophia, which I really just don't think is going to be doing much of anything. So that's the end of this video. Like I said, it was going to be a rather short video. I got a couple other good videos planned coming for you guys in the near future, so be sure to subscribe and thumbs up the video if you want to see more content like this on the Nekroz topic. I've had a lot lot of good reviews and good feedback from you guys about the first 2 Nekroz videos, so hopefully it's going to be a series I continue. And that's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and take care.